happiness. Very interesting topic, isn't it? Is it something we're born with? Is it learned? Is it accumulated over your lifespan? Are we a victim, and if we have a tough life, then we don't deserve or get to have happiness? Or is there something we can do about it? I'm on the PCT today on Christmas 2022, and just kind of self-reflecting, and wanted to add to this topic that I am doing on this video. And this is my happy place. You don't have to like hiking or even the outdoors, but we get mired in our everyday life and the routines. We don't want to take risks. We want to be safe. But in your life, I saw a program where they pulled a bunch of very elderly people in old folks' homes that were close to passing away, and they asked them what their biggest regret in life was. And it was for not taking chances, for not going for something that they really dreamt of doing. And we're programmed to go to school when you're little, then get a college degree, then to get a career, possibly have a family and get married and all that, and do well enough to hopefully retire and be stable in your elderly years. That is important to some people, and some people need that structure. I realized after almost 30 years of the corporate world, making really good money, that I was 1,000% dissatisfied. Worked way too many hours and was exceptionally unhappy. And I also fell under being a victim. I had if you saw one of my previous videos about happiness and about a little bit about me, I've had a very tough upbringing in life. That's why I'm out here today. It's not that it's tough. I have no family except for a son. I don't have people to celebrate holidays with. So for the longest time, Thanksgiving was easily the hardest holiday for me. Even periodically semi-suicidal, because more than Christmas, Thanksgiving is when we give thanks for what we have. And I was always focused and mired on what I don't have, not what I have. I felt sorry for myself, and sometimes didn't want to be here. So in the last few years, specifically this year in 2022, I changed my focus, and I realized the only thing I was a victim of was me. And I realized that you can come from an inner city and have the worst possible upbringing, whatever that is, and still be successful and happy and have a great life. It's up to you. Our lives are just a bunch of consecutive decisions. That's all it is. I realized that, I'm 60 now, but I started hiking when I was 53 or so. But I realized that not only did I love it, it was good for me physically and health-wise, but that getting to nature, and especially remote backpacking where I'm not around a lot of people, is my happy place. I'm not a religious person, but it's my church. And I always say when I come back from long stretches on the PCT that I'm the best possible Mike I can be when I come back. I'm at the most at peace. Things that normally really bother me, noise, crowds, rude people, things like that, they don't affect me, at least for a little while. And then you kind of get beat down by it. So we all have triggers and things that bother us. This year's been a great year. I spent Thanksgiving by myself for the most part, and now Christmas, and I'm happy. I have friends that are very kind and have asked me to come over on those holidays, so I may even today later. But I'm prepared to be by myself and be happy because it's a choice. I hope that helps you. It's a mindset, right? We're gonna go through life and a lot of bad things are gonna happen, and car accidents and people that we love passing away and things like that. That's the cycle of life. We can use that to be a victim, or, mourn the people and then remember them for the rest of our lives, what you loved about them, and move on and not let it affect you being a happy person. All right, that's the sermon for today. I'm gonna get hiking.
Number 1. Make sure to take the time each day to slow down and enjoy the little things. That could be as simple as taking time to make a cup of coffee or tea in the morning before you start your day. Number 2. Take time away from everything tech on the weekend of a specific day to reconnect with nature in some way. This could be a walk in the neighborhood, a local trail. How about go for a swim in a lake, or walk along the beach, or even walk in a park? If you don't have access to some of these things, you can do simple things like sit in your backyard and read a book or listen to music. Number 3. Give your time to help others who could either use it or are less fortunate than you. It's incredible how fulfilling giving your time to help others is. I've done it in the past for many years, and it was incredible how much joy and happiness I brought to others, not to mention how it made me feel. Number 4. Create an environment you love, creating a calming and peaceful space to create peacefulness and joy. This could mean creating a space in your backyard to sit, maybe with a great view, or you can even create space with potted plants or flowers to create that calming, beautiful, fragrant space. If you don't have a space outdoors to do this, consider a space indoors with a great view. You could add pressed flowers, incense, art you appreciate, and don't forget calming music. Either spaces can be also used to read, journal, or even meditate. Number 5. Take time to reflect and practice gratitude. Always try and come from a place of appreciation and gratefulness. Number 6. Simplify your life. Minimize and get rid of things you do not need. Clean out all the clutter and unneeded things. Too much stuff is not only stressful to deal with every day, but can be very time-consuming in terms of keeping it organized. Number 7. Make sure to get regular exercise as well as sleep and rest. We all know how important rest is to recuperate from our busy days. Of course, exercise is extremely important to not only stay strong, but to increase our energy levels. Number 8. Look for the good. What you focus on, you get more of. Here's a great quote that addresses this exact topic. So as this quote says, what you pay attention to, your brain gives more emphasis on. This means you can actively teach your brain to be happier when you focus on the things that make you happy in your life. Here are 2 things you can do for this. The first one is practice gratitude. You can even set an alarm on your phone, and every time it goes off, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be huge, monumental things. They can be very simple, everyday things. The second one is do a random act of kindness, like volunteer at a homeless shelter, take a friend you haven't spoken to in a long time to lunch to catch up, or even buy a person behind you in line a coffee at the coffee shop. Number 9. Have something to look forward to. According to Christian Waugh, who did a study on happiness, having something to look forward to is a major coping strategy and helps us recover and adapt to stressors, which especially is important in these times. Number 10. Lead into the uncomfortable and overcome anxiety. This leads to the well-known fact that avoidance leads to creating or maintaining anxiety. When you avoid the things that scare you, you build them up to be bigger than they really are. We all know this is true, and I was guilty of this for most of my younger years. There's something incredibly empowering about facing one's fears and overcoming them, not to mention how much stress and anxiety you release. Think about creating a discomfort list, then start facing each one, thus knocking them off the list, and at the same time removing another anxiety, thus creating even more happiness. Lastly, I'll leave you with one last quote I love that falls perfectly into this last suggestion. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope these ideas will help you regain your happiness and keep it. Remember, happiness is a choice.